What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld Podcast, and today we're going to be talking Week 8 football, Redskins, Vikings. I know I'm saying the names and you're like, okay, the Redskins have not really been playing well, but let me just say something about them before we start to dig in deeper with Dwayne Haskins coming in for Case Keenum at halftime due to a concussion and all the other things that are going on with the Redskins that are just absolutely horrific and bad. Their defense was playing very, very tough. The Redskins defense early in this game, even in the second half. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't a situation where it was like they're not being dominated defensively the way that people think that they are. Because if you just speak to people about their record, 1-7, or it's like these guys are terrible players, but their defense is really, really standing firm in most cases. It's offensively that they can't really do anything. And even for me watching it, I was like, hold on. You know what I'm saying? Diggs didn't get a score. Dalvin Cook had 98 yards and a touchdown, but, Diggs did have 143. He could have broke one, when he had that slant early in the first half. Whatever, he could have broke it. He could have definitely broke a couple things, but he wasn't able to get over the hump. But the Redskins defense did a solid job, okay? Going forward with it, we're going to talk about some of the other things that I saw specifically with Dwayne Haskins. And, I don't know what's going on with that situation, but the Vikings defense is a serious thing right now, but I can't really give them that much credit because, they pretty much just held serve. That's all they did. Case Keenum, I don't know what he's doing, but, he has a concussion now, whatever he has, we'll see what happens with that. Dwayne Haskins came out, played pretty much like a trash can, only put up 3 points in the second half. So I don't really know if it was as much as the Vikings defense just being dominant as if the Redskins are just inept on offense, all right? But they did show that they can play some solid defense. They did what they were supposed to do. They beat a bad team, okay? We're going to go ahead and break some things down. Kirk Cousins was very, very sharp. Looking at this game, I was very, like I said, I've been very, very hard on Kirk Cousins over the last couple of years. And it looks like once his wide receivers called him out, it kind of woke him up a little bit because he's been playing a lot better, and it's been consistently better decisions. So I don't know exactly what's going to happen. We know that Thielen was out, but he was one of the guys that had something to say about it. Diggs wanted to be traded, and then a lot of things just started to change. Now, the way that this new, the new era of the NFL and social media and things work, when people are disgruntled, people tend to go out and do it on, like, for everybody else to see it now. It's not the same way it used to be where you could take somebody on the side, like, look, you garbage. Like, back in the day, a receiver would take the quarterback to the side or whatever, somebody would talk to him like, look, let me just tell you something real quick. You garbage and you need to fix this. You know what I'm saying? Because you straight up suck. That's all changed now. And if a dude sucks, you go to Twitter in a rage, you start putting out emojis, you're upset, you want to be traded, you stop following the team, all kinds of things start to happen. And I think that kind of motivated Kirk Cousins because we know he had the talent. Like, even when he was with the Redskins, we know he has the talent to put up big numbers. It's just that we know, for the most part, that when it comes down to it, his history has shown that he's probably going to throw a pick. He's kind of gotten away from that right now, and he's able to make certain plays. So we have to wait to see if that continues to go on. But it's very, very impressive how sharp he's looked over the last couple games since that whole debacle when the receivers were calling him out. Now, many of us saw during the draft day that Dwayne Haskins had a lot to say about people passing on him and not taking a chance and all that stuff like that. I'm starting to see right now. I know he's a rookie, so like we can't really go too hard on him, but there are other rookies obviously that are playing better that are first round picks. Looking at him overall, I was not impressed. I don't know how Redskins fans feel about him. I don't think that he's going to have to put in a lot of work. He's going to have to put in a lot of work to change up some of the things that he's doing. It's like I don't know what he is yet. I'm trying to look at the archetype and trying to figure out, I don't know what he's doing. And it could, like I said, it could be he has nobody to throw the ball to. It could be the running game was kind of lackluster. Adrian Peterson had 76 yards. It wasn't that much of it wasn't that much of an opportunity for him to do certain things that maybe he would like to do. But just looking at it like eye test, I was not impressed. And you can kind of see why, he wasn't able to get the job over Case Keenum with a lot of the throws that he made, some of the decision making. People are going to say, again, he's young, he has to learn. I understand all that. But even with young players, you can see certain potential and certain things that they're going to be able to do. Now, I'm not saying that he won't be able to do certain things very, very soon. I'm just saying, based on what I saw, it looks like he has some grooming to do. Like he has a lot of work to do. Coming into training camp, it was never anything like this guy is going to be able to, compete for the job. It was never anything like that. It was always like, all right, Case Keenum is starting. I don't care. And when you hear that, as somebody that watches a lot of football, when you hear that Case Keenum is just winning the job outright, and nobody's even like putting any pressure on him, you start to look around like, what? Like what exactly is going on right now? How is this guy not even competing for the job? And, this is the second time he was able to see action, and both times I'm not impressed. I'm just being completely honest about it. Going forward with it, we have to wait to see exactly what else is going to be able to get brought out of the situation. But like I said, with the way the Redskins are right now, we all know that they're definitely not going to be doing anything. Like, that's not something that's surprising. It's actually very, very obvious that they're not going to be doing anything. But it's becoming relatively blatant that these players, they understand that they're going to probably get a first round, like probably the number one pick, depending on what goes on. Them Miami, whatever. We'll have to see how that works out. But it's starting to become very, very obvious with a lot of these things that these teams are just going to be what they are right now. But again, I wasn't expecting the Redskins to play this hard. I honestly was not. And that's what really impressed me. Like, forget about the offense. We know the offense is like not too good. Like, they're not really doing anything. But the way the Vikings have been playing, I kind of expected a little bit of a blowout. I thought they would blow out the Redskins. That's what I was thinking. I don't know what you guys thought going into the game, but that's what I thought. I thought they would blow them out. It would be an easy game. It'll be, just pretty much 1, 2, 3. It wasn't like that. So when something like that happens, it kind of shocks me because I'm looking at them like, yo, these dudes are garbage. Like the Redskins, bro, these dudes this year, yo, hater, like whatever, hatter, whatever, however you want to do your hashtag. These dudes are garbage. And then they go out there and then I'm looking at the defense and I'm like, these dudes are playing really, really hard. They're doing everything that they can. And then you go to the offensive side of the ball and you're like, so what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's happening? It just doesn't seem to make any sense. And then it brings me back like to the Rams, because the Rams offensively right now are not that good, but defensively they got stacked players. They just brought Ramsey over. It's craziness going on over there. But then offensively they get the ball and they can't do anything. So defense has to do everything. But the Vikings are good enough to be able to put up 19 points. The kicker obviously did a lot of that. But Dalvin Cook, again, this dude coming off an injury. It's a lot of things that I like about the Vikings. But when you look at the NFC, especially in the North, right? You got the Vikings, you got the Packers and these guys. If you had to vote right now, I want to know what you guys think. Would you take the Packers as the best NFC North team or just the best NFC team? Who are you guys taking? It looks like you got to go with the better quarterback. Okay, now defensively, they're both doing whatever, but they had 4 turnovers from the Redskins yesterday. But the Green Bay Packers look pretty good. You know what I'm saying? It's not like defensively, like they're not doing what they're supposed to do. They have the better record by 1. But it looks like the way that the NFC is starting to turn out, the Packers may be the top team right now. If you just look at it, but the Vikings are right there as well. The Browns are, not the Browns, the Bears are very, very disappointing right now to me with the way that everything is working out because their defense is not doing anything, and that's supposed to be the staple. But I like what I'm seeing from the Vikings team. They can run the football. Kirk Cousins is being more efficient. They're dangerous. If their defense plays the way that they've been playing, they're dangerous. But then remember, go back a couple of years when they got dominated, when they had like the best defense. They went to the playoffs and just got dominated. So I have to wait to see what happens going on later. But I like to see the way that they're doing it because they have balance. And that's what you're going to need. Because ultimately, I think somebody's going to have to play the Patriots. So I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you, regardless of what happens, the way the Patriots are playing and the way that their defense is playing, I'm not even saying Tom Brady is playing like Tom Brady, but their defense is wild and savage. And Bill Belichick is sending everybody, the coach, the owner, every single play and forcing you to make a decision. So for me, a lot of you guys have been asking, what do I think? I think right now the Packers are probably one of the top teams in the NFC. And if it stays the way that it is, ultimately it looks like it might be a Packers-Patriots Super Bowl. In my opinion right now, just looking at the way that everything is lining up. But obviously, health permitting with certain teams, we have to see if anybody gets hot, et cetera, et cetera. But that's where I am right now with the way that this is working out. I want to thank you guys for joining me for Week 8. Be sure to check me out after the Sunday games. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. You have a wonderful day. Until next time, one love.